The recruitment process is arguably one of the most important business processes. This video will look at both internal and external recruitment, the pros and cons of each, and which approach McDonald's seems to prefer. Right, before we jump into internal and external recruitment, it's important to understand what recruitment is. Recruitment is simply the process of identifying a need for a new employee, attracting that employee, and eventually hiring that person for the job. Recruitment is about getting the right person for the right role at the right time. Those people need to have the right skills and capabilities for that role to enable them to meet the organisation's goals. The recruitment process can involve using job descriptions, person specifications, application forms, interviews, and group tasks to help select the best candidate for that role. This leads us to where a business can recruit from. One option is to recruit from existing employees that are inside the business. This is known as internal recruitment. The other is known as external recruitment and is a process of recruiting from outside of the business. Let's first take a look at internal recruitment and the pros and cons of using this approach. Internal recruitment, as previously mentioned, is the process of finding a current employee from within the business to fill a new vacancy that has become available. This will often be a promotion, but could also be a sideward step for the employee into a role that suits their skills far better. This role will be actively promoted amongst the current workforce via staff intranet, emails, notice boards, etc. And the potential candidates will be then shortlisted and interviewed. What are the advantages and disadvantages of taking this approach? One of the main advantages of recruiting internally is that it cuts the cost of recruitment, which in turn saves the business money. This is due to it reducing HR costs, recruitment agency fees, and the advertising of the role, which can all be expensive. Cutting out these things also means that the process of recruiting is much quicker, and therefore another advantage of internal recruitment. The next, applicants for the vacancy are already known to the business, their approach to work is known, their reputation and record is already established, which again cuts down on time taken to assess the candidates in these areas and also saves money in HR costs. The final advantage we're going to cover is that internal recruitment can improve motivation within the current workforce. If the business usually recruits, especially for promotion opportunities from within the business, then current employees may work harder knowing there's a real possibility of them getting noticed and promoted. Like most things, not everything is positive when recruiting internally. There are disadvantages. The first and most obvious disadvantage is that filling a vacancy internally means that whoever gets the job role leaves a gap. This role now needs to be filled, meaning that the recruitment process needs to start again for this role. Another is that there's a limited pool of applicants, as you are only looking at people with potential who already work for the company, whereas if you're recruiting externally, you have a large number of potential applicants. Another negative is that applicants may lack new ideas. With them working for the company already, they'll be used to the way the business operates and may lack the vision to come up with new ideas. Finally, recruiting internally may breed resentment, as co-workers who are at the same level may end up managing or being managed by one another, or it may even mean they both apply for the same role, and that would in turn mean that one person beats the other. Now we've covered internal, let's move on to external. External recruitment is a process of filling a vacancy in the business from applicants that do not currently work for the company. This is often carried out through external job adverts, email campaigns, job websites, recruitment agencies, the business's own website, and newspapers. Why would a business recruit externally then? One reason would be that it injects fresh blood into the business, and therefore fresh ideas. The applicant will have experience from other businesses, which will mean a fresh perspective. A disadvantage of internal recruitment was that there is a limited pool of applicants. However, the opposite is true for external recruitment. There's a larger pool of potential applicants, which increases the chances of recruiting the right person. Due to having a larger pool of applicants, the people applying for the role may be better qualified and experienced than internal applicants. Some disadvantages of this approach, however, are that it can be riskier as applicants are unknown. The business has no first-hand experience of the applicants and need to rely on references and the selection process to gauge whether they are the right fit for the business. Hiring externally can also be expensive. The process is longer, as documentation such as person specs and job descriptions need to be created, adverts need to be produced, then distributed through various channels, interviews need to be detailed and references collected, possibly a notice needs to be worked by the successful applicant. All this takes time and money, which mostly is avoided when recruiting internally. So, which one is better? Ultimately, it's down to what the business wants and the situation they are in, as to whether they recruit internally or externally. Some choose to focus on perfecting their internal recruitment, and others prefer to recruit externally, and most do some variation of both. It really depends on what works for the business and which approach the business has seen the best results from. One global business that does put a huge emphasis on internal recruitment is McDonald's. McDonald's actively promotes the fact that 90% of their business managers started with the business as crew members, and that 1/3 of their executive team started their career in their restaurant. They also promote the fact that they spend £43 million annually on training and developing existing employees. All these things show McDonald's clearly sees the value in recruiting internally, possibly due to the benefits discussed previously, such as employees being trained specifically in the McDonald's way of working, motivating crew members to work hard as the possibility of promotion is readily available, and finally speeding up the recruitment process, as the employees are known, as their skills and competencies are proven. We really appreciate you watching this video to the end, and if you found this video useful, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more weekly business videos.